Shemza Digital is a collaborative project between the artist Stuart Batchelor and myself. It's based on the work of my grandfather, the well-known British-Pakistani painter Anwar Jalal Shemza. In one of my grandfather's art history lectures, he was taught by the famous art historian Ernst Gombrich. Within this lecture, Ernst Gombrich dismissed all of Islamic art as purely functional, and my grandfather walked out of this class feeling incredibly upset about this denial of his heritage. After leaving the lecture, my grandfather destroyed all of the work that he'd created so far in this country. He decided to start from the very, very basics with the square and the circle, and thus this became his exploration for the rest of his life. Or as he put it, one circle, one square, one problem, one life is not enough to solve it. Stuart and I created a digital painting application where the public could create their own digital paintings in the style of my grandfather's work. The idea was to highlight the importance of migrant artists in British art history, using my cultural heritage and my grandfather's work as a starting point. In this increasingly polarised society, I believe it's really important to champion diversity and to highlight the impact and brilliant legacy that these artists have had on contemporary British culture.
Software art has a long history of using interactivity and collaboration. This project uses that to continue the legacy of a great artist. Based on Anwar's work, we designed 3 paints: the squircle, the weave, and the mosaic. The squircle paint is a circle and a square, and together they make the squircle, which, besides just being the overall mascot for this project, is a key element and a key aesthetic that Anwar Jalal Shemza used in his work and throughout his lifetime.
Part of my grandfather's family were carpet makers in Pakistan, and so the weave paint is really based on those woven ideas and motifs that he used within his work.
The mosaic paint, I think, is definitely my favourite paint. It's got everything really. It's got circles and squares, and kind of came out of a mistake, really, a computer glitch that we sort of ran with and we loved so much we wanted to then include it.
The Shemza Digital project comes in 3 parts. In the first part, we launched the digital painting application and began to collect the public's digital paintings. These paintings are then stored in our online archive, and we always intended to use these paintings to create a collaborative installation in the future. In the second part of the project, I needed to design how we were going to turn the digital paintings into an immersive installation. And I could have done that on my own, but I decided that as we were in the spirit of co-creation and collaborating with the public, that it made better sense for me to collaborate with them in order to create and design that immersive installation in the future. I ran 6 new co-creation workshops where I worked with different communities across the country, working with young people, children and adults alike to create these designs for our immersive installation. The new installation software allowed participants to draw on the walls, floors and ceiling of the space and imagine how we could create light sculptures that would fill the floor space too. I had a really fantastic time working with the public in these workshops, and what came out of them was really inspiring. I took the designs from all the participants and looked at how I could actually turn these ideas into physical realities. In the last part of the project, I created a virtual exhibition to find partners where we could physically tour the Shemza Digital project. In the spring of 2021, I met with Wolverhampton Art Gallery and the lead curator here, Carol Thompson, and we decided to partner on this new exhibition called Shemza Digital Across Generations.
What's really wonderful about this exhibition is how it's been able to bring Anwar's work into the digital age and create what is a really playful, interactive, modern digital exhibition, which I'm sure our visitors will absolutely love.
Wolverhampton Art Gallery have 4 artworks of my grandfather's in their collection already, and so it was an ideal place for us to bring the new and the old together and really highlight the historical context of the Shemza Digital project.
As an organisation, we are really committed to sort of bringing people together, to having spaces where people can collaborate, can play, can experiment. And I think this exhibition does exactly those things.
In Shemza Digital Across Generations, we've got 3 brand new interactive digital real-time projection artworks. And I created those in collaboration with the artist and programmer Peter Todd. It's been amazing working with Peter, and he's really brought something really unique to the project.
I see myself as a kind of second generation computer artist. As I was a kid, my dad was working a lot with the artist William Latham, so I grew up going to these exhibitions and kind of being exposed to the ideas and the aesthetic of the work they were doing. That is really, in many ways, just like, or there are certainly resonances with the way that Aphra is reflecting on the legacy of her grandfather's work and the kind of visual language and using technology to translate that into new forms and forms that engage the public in new ways. Today is the first day that we've actually met in person since we've been collaborating on this work. Some of the way that the work has developed has been shaped by the pandemic and by that remoteness and so on. So we were making like a virtual exhibition type thing because we couldn't have real exhibitions. You know, now I've been making a new version of the virtual exhibition of this thing, which is actually also a real exhibition.
In Shemza Digital number 8, we're showing Shemza Digital, our original painting application, where you can create a digital painting just as you have before, and then submit it to our archive, which is shown on the gallery wall. With the collaborative digital painting app, we've got a collaborative canvas where different users can log onto the app with their mobile phones and all collaborate together to create one unique artwork. Once one of the participants has decided that they would like to finish the painting, they can vote. When the majority of people in the gallery agree, the painting is then saved and played back as a real-time animation on the wall next to the collaborative canvas. I normally create interactive light sculptures, and so I was really excited to use some of my skills and knowledge to do that in this exhibition as well. I took the ideas for my designs from the co-creation workshops that I did with members of the public, and some of the motifs that they came up with, I decided to turn into physical objects. In Shemza Digital number 5, I've created an archway that references the way that my grandfather used and was inspired by Islamic architecture in his artwork. On approach to the archway, the lights inside it will light up, meaning that the more that the viewer interacts and approaches the piece, the more that they'll see, the more that is revealed to them. In Shemza Digital number 6, we have a column motif, which is also referenced a lot in Shemza's artwork. With this piece, each side of the column has an ultrasonic sensor inside that can sense where the viewer is in relationship to the piece. Depending on which side the viewer is approaching from, the lights will either be red, blue, green, or an animation of a white light. If there's more than one viewer at any one time, they can mix colours and patterns to create a really exciting experience. The final artwork of the show is Shemza Digital number 9, and this is where I've taken inspiration from my grandfather's work that's actually part of Wolverhampton's collection called The Gate. In The Gate, my grandfather's been inspired by the Indo-Islamic Jali screen, which is a kind of lattice-work gate that you see often in Islamic architecture. I wanted to create my own Jali screen experience. It separates kind of public and private domains, and mine lights up in ultraviolet light, which I'm very excited about. With the support of the Arts Council, it's been amazing to work with so many talented artists, and for this project I've also been able to work with musicians as well, and we've produced a bespoke audio soundscape that plays in the gallery space. The soundscape was created by Nix and Petit Oiseau. Nix is a female drone choir that fused the female voice with electronic ambient sounds, and Petit Oiseau combined traditional South Asian instruments with electronic synth music as well. It's been amazing to work with such talented musicians, and I'm just so pleased to see that the soundscape really references and brings to life the whole ethos of the exhibition, which is about bringing together the traditional and the digital.
So this is the first exhibition of its kind at Wolverhampton Art Gallery. It's our first really sort of interactive digital exhibition, and I can't wait to see how our visitors respond. I know that they're going to love it.
I think what I'm looking forward to is seeing members of the public using the collaborative version of the Paint app. As I was implementing it, I was trying to imagine how people would respond, what it would be like for that to exist in a gallery environment.
The Shemza Digital project has been completely inspired by my grandfather's work, and I've chosen some of my absolute favourite pieces from the estate collection for that part of the exhibition. And I'm so pleased to share them with you, as some of them have never been seen before. It's a really incredible moment to have my grandfather's work showing in the gallery next door and my work showing here as a kind of third generation. And I'm very overwhelmed by it all. It's amazing. I'm really excited to show this new exhibition of digital artworks to the public, and I just can't wait to see how they're going to interact with it. I think that through digital art, we're able to make art and artistic practice accessible to everyone.